When I was a small child, one of my favorite books was The Hunt for Snufflegrunt's Treasure. It was a choose-your-own-adventure book, meaning you, as the reader, could make decisions that sent you on divergent paths through the journey. Some paths led to dangers and obstacles that were impossible to overcome, while others led to a happy ending. I like this book, and many others like it, because I had agency in the story. I wasn't just along for the ride, I was in control. If you are interested in hearing more of this story, do nothing. If you are bored, click back in your browser and select a video from Mr. Beast. Sometimes when I slow down and reflect on my journey through life thus far, I think about particular points in time and the decisions that I made when I was faced with choices at those moments. There are so many ways that my life could have turned out differently. Every choice is meaningful in some way in each of our own stories. I feel satisfied with the decisions that have led me here, but I am not always certain that I made the right choice at each divergent path in the road. There are many roads. This is just the one that I am on. In 2015, I quit my job in Shanghai, and I decided that I wanted to travel. My friend Jasmine came along for the ride. Our goal was to head west from Beijing and see what we could find as we wandered across China towards Xinjiang. We had no preordained route, no fixed plan. We chose to open our eyes each morning and greet the new day as a child would, full of wonder and curiosity. We wanted the universe to present itself with options that would offer us the freedom to encounter the diversity of experience that being a human has to offer. And we, in all of our naivete, believed that it would. If you would like to see how our journey began, click the link on your screen now. If you would like to learn the truth behind my NIO Day story, keep watching. Naturally, during our expedition across China, we were forced to make decisions that would have the potential to drastically alter the course of our journey. Some choices were harder than others. Abandoning our three-wheeled motorcycle early on for more conventional means of travel was a difficult choice. However, agreeing to avoid high-speed rail and airplanes in order to travel more slowly and meet more people, that was an easier decision. By the time that we reached Gansu province in northwest China, we were already well over a month into our journey. We had been through a lot. Our first day in Jiangye City was a rough one. I lost my shoes by stepping into sticky mud at a nature preserve, and we lost the whole day thanks to my stupid mistake. We were exhausted, and we were dirty, and our journey had no end in sight.
It really fucking sucks. Part of life, live an adventure, come to the wetlands, jump in the mud, lose your shoes, size 11 shoes.
I will help you find the right one.
We contemplated accelerating our travels and making our way towards Xinjiang as soon as possible, or even parting ways entirely, with Jasmine heading home to Beijing and me pressing forward on my own. We sat down to eat at a dapaidang and ordered some lamb skewers and beer. A group of young people sat at the table next to us. They were loud, drunk, and boisterous. The leader of the group shouted at me, "Hello!" I've grown accustomed to this after all my time in China, so I smiled and acknowledged him. "I've never met a foreigner before," he said in Chinese. This was his icebreaker. Jasmine and I moved to their table. We brought our beers with us. "Ganbei," we told them. Cheers. We enjoyed a night of conversation, song, beer, and, of course, delicious barbecue. Towards the end of the night, when we were all full of lamb and full of beer, he offered to take us to his village. "It's in the mountains. It's very beautiful." "When?" I asked. "Tomorrow, first thing in the morning. What hotel are you staying in? I'll come pick you up." Suddenly, I came to another fork in the road. "This isn't safe. You don't know him. You just can't get into strangers' cars and run off into the barren mountains of northwestern China. What would Mom think if she knew what you were doing?" These are things I should have been thinking, and if we're being honest, I probably was, but I can't remember now. If this was a choose-your-own-adventure book, I would have considered taking the other option, but in this instance, I decided that adventure was more important than choice. The universe presented me with this opportunity. The universe was telling me, this is what you will do. There was no other alternative on the bottom of the page. At 8 a.m. the following morning, we were awakened by the sound of a car horn outside. I looked out the window and saw them, standing outside of their car, leaning on the horn, looking up, trying to determine which room we were in, and if we had heard them. "We gotta go. They're here," I told Jasmine. We drove for hours, through desert, through forest, across grasslands. Electric dance music thumped and tires squealed. We sped around turns and up steep mountain roads. We reached the village, eventually. A few mud brick and rammed earth homes, powered by the sun, connected to 12-volt batteries, dotted the landscape. It was June, but snow still capped the not-too-distant mountains. Our cell phones were useless here. There was no 3G, no Wi-Fi. Nothing was here except for the bleating of sheep and the wind passing over the hills and through the grass. We stayed for 2 days. They showed us how to find birds nesting in the mud embankments, and how to corner and catch wild rabbits against those same embankments. They taught us how to shear sheep, and how to pack it tight for delivery down the mountain.
I'm petting the wool.
Oh,
The sheep. The
I
sheep.
thought you want
Show the
suicide.
wool. Suicide.
哎，你们两个干嘛呀
一？天多少钱？我要工作。我要上班。
They showed us how to find fuel for the fire in this land with no trees, and how to make local milk tea.
牛圈上山了。
哦，是我没看见。
那直串成的。
这个臭不臭？
不臭。
不臭，不哈溜特别香。
是吗？
It's
然后
dry.
你咬一口。
It's dry.
They taught us how to use a Gansu shower. They showed us how to have fun when you are all alone in a forgotten village in one of the most remote, bleakest landscapes in the country. We ate, we drank, perhaps too much, and we talked. We spent time in the home of his dying grandmother, and with his hardworking and weathered father. We discovered that while we came from different worlds, we had far more commonalities than differences. We became true friends, if only for a brief moment in time. 兄弟, GMA. The days were pleasant, but at that altitude, the nights were still freezing. So we drank more. All through the night we drank. We heard a horse trotting across the hard fields. We all went outside to greet its rider. He came over the hills from another village to see the foreigner. He brought us baijiu. The night sky was crystal clear, free of pollution, light or otherwise. The sky was filled with stars. He tied up his horse and we sat on the porch, all mesmerized by the vast, starry sky. I felt a longing for all the wonderful times back home in California, sitting by the campfire with my family, staring at the very same starry sky. We sat there under the stars, drinking baijiu, until the cold rooted itself deep into our bones, and we couldn't stand it any longer. We went inside. We sang, and we drank, and we talked until the sun came up.
大地不会把你从我的心中尘封，发号声声会把你从沉睡中唤醒。你是黑夜里人们寻找的坐标，我虔诚地为你祈祷，我虔诚地为你祈祷。在我的生命，你会越累越高。
They shared with us mountain songs and local wisdom.
草原上带来了很大的垃圾，
嗯，对，
不应该的，
是
带进来，
保护好我们的草原，
保护我的尊贵的草原。
尊贵的草原，
生我养我的草原，
就像我的眼睛一样保护。
就像我的眼睛一样。The uncle said they relied on the prairie, and the prairie environment should protect very good, but not tourists broke the environment that's so bad, like they hurt his.
下再见。
谢谢叔叔，还能喝吗？
谢谢你们，欢迎我们。
小意思。
OK。
Thank you， 我的这个老伟哥，老兄弟。
干杯怎么说
Cheers。
？Cheers。
我这个嘞，
我这个哩。
你干嘛？你是猴子吗？我们有别说，我们有个说，有个说干法，干杯！我这个嘞，
我这个哩，
我这个嘞，
我这个哩，我这个哩。
那你喝吧，喊吗？
Good. Good.
They drove us back to Jiangye. We promised to stay in touch, to meet again someday. In Gansu or Shanghai or Beijing, wherever our individual choose-your-own-adventure through life would take us. We never did. We lost touch. We didn't necessarily make the wrong choices, but we didn't make the choices that would bring us all back together. I still think about them often, and about our time in those mountains. That experience changed me in some profound ways. It left a deep impression on me that will stay with me for the remainder of my time on Earth. I wonder what it meant to them. I wonder if they will see the NIO Day movie and if they will know that it's about them. I wonder what kind of impression did Jasmine and I leave on them and their village. Every choice in my life led me to that point in time, to those few days in Gansu, and almost every decision since then has led me further away from it. I don't want this to seem like an advertisement for NIO, because the true story has nothing to do with them. It happened well before I bought a NIO. But somehow, thanks to NIO, and thanks to making videos for YouTube about NIO, these decisions have led me to all of you who are here and part of this channel. And my owning a NIO gave me the opportunity to work with NIO on making this short film and sharing it with the world. I was able to go back in time and to retrace some of the steps in my life that led me to where I am today. It is an odd thing to recreate past events from your life, but it was also very fulfilling. It brought back so many special memories. I feel genuinely lucky in my life to be in the position that I am now and to have made decisions that have put me in the situations that came before. But none of it could have been done without the kindness of so many people along the way. Our world is one full of incredible beauty, but it is the people that we get to know along the way that make experiencing that beauty worthwhile. In real life and online, now, and across all of my prior years, this isn't the hunt for Snufflegrunt's treasure. This isn't a choose your own adventure book, and we can't go back and make different choices and achieve new outcomes. But if we're lucky, we can go back and celebrate the decisions that we have made and appreciate where those choices have taken us. I would like to thank Jasmine for making the decision to go on an adventure with me, and I would like to thank my friends in Gansu for welcoming me to their home, and I would like to thank NIO for sharing this story with the world. I don't know if this is the kind of content that you are interested in seeing, but if you have enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe. If you are a bad decision maker and your choose your own adventure has taken a turn for the worse, click dislike and navigate away from this page. Perhaps a Just a Prank Bro video would be more your speed. Thank you for watching and happy holidays.
我想起了我的家乡 California， 也可以看到一样很美的星空。在这一刻，我感受到我和家人距离都不远。